Alrighty. Well, here we are, back with another live stream. It's been a few days since I've done one. The last one we did was a Pac-Man one, and I wasn't my full self there. Been dealing with sickness. Don't really know what it is. Could be Corona, could not be. Who knows? But hopefully I find out soon. In the meantime, though, I just kind of took some time off. Uh, Rested a bunch. I did play some games that way. I kind of got an idea of what I did want to stream about when I got back on, and I settled on some Ghost Recon. I believe I streamed this when I was on Mixer, which feels like a lifetime ago now I think about it. Uh, but yeah, I streamed a little bit of Breakpoint, a little bit of Wildlands. But the point I'm getting at is that I played a lot of Ghost Recon Wildlands as well as Ghost Recon Breakpoint. As a matter of fact, I still do it. I still play both of them, and I was really happy to see that Wildlands came over to Stadia. It's a game I kind of hoped would be on there because I just I like the flexibility with Stadia, which I'll get into that a little bit later as we were kind of going on the pros and cons of both Stadia and Amazon Luna. The time I did take off, I did have the opportunity to get into the early access of Luna with Amazon, and I played a little bit of it. I'm going to keep it probably for the next few months. To kind of really see like a little bit of a long term view of it because like it's not bad. I don't think it's on the same level as Stadia, but again, we'll get into that. I still think it's worth a try. If you have the opportunity to get into the early access, by all means, do it. Worst case, if you really hate it and then you didn't buy the controller, you spent maybe $6 to have a full month. And really, that's not bad for the amount of games they offer on there. So again, we'll talk about that. So anyway, with Ghost Recon Wildlands, what we're doing right here is we're just kind of continuing a new playthrough I started. Unfortunately, all of my info from my PC saves didn't carry over here, which is like a blessing in disguise because it lets me kind of replay the game as if I just bought it again. And then I could just play for you guys over time. We'll do multiple episodes of kind of just me just talking about whatever while we play this. I'm hoping I can get some people in on co-op on this because this game is a lot of fun, especially with the type of like antics you can get in. My brother and I played this quite a bit. He has it on his PC, but he might get on Stadia, and if he does, then I'll definitely have him on here with me as well through Discord, and you can just see the crazy shit that we do. Anyway, the one thing I spend a lot of time in this game doing is a lot of just customization. I really love just like kind of like the RP elements this game does offer. I've never really done too much of the RP community in here, a little bit more in Wildlands, and it's fun, especially when you find people that kind of know a little bit more of like I guess military terminology just to add on to the authenticity. This makes a lot of fun, but unfortunately you can't really find a bunch of former servicemen to play games with, or at least this game with. So trying to debate kind of like why I want to model this guy off her, because it's like I know the camo doesn't play any role in like the stealth aspect of this game, but like, to me it's hard for me to be stealthing around in like a desert when I'm wearing like it's just something that doesn't match. I'm going to try to kind of fight that off, otherwise you'll just see me in this menu the entire stream. There's been days where my wife has seen me sit here for an hour and a half just trying to figure out the perfect build of like of an outfit, and then 15 minutes later I'm changing it up again. So I'm going to try not to worry you guys with that. I usually go with like the Cry Combat shirt just because it kind of it fits in pretty much everywhere. It looks really cool too. So I guess we'll go with see, I don't know which one we want to go with here because I kind of like the old end dubs that the Navy used to use. Also, I don't think I've mentioned it, but to give you a little bit more background about myself is that I am former military. Was a medical discharge. I was in the Navy as a packed sailor. Didn't have a rate, and obviously since I was discharged before I could strike a rate, I just stayed as a pack sailor. So pretty much I was a glorified like AB, but I didn't even get out to the ship, which sucks. But it is what it is. But anyway, so yeah, I like the old N dubs. I never had those when I was in. We had the N dub Type 3s, which are very uh, similar to like what the Marine Corps has, which was so the Marine Corps has that, and the Navy's it's like it's less orange and more green. And then we had like the pockets on our shoulders. They wouldn't be exactly like on our shoulder right here. It'd be more kind of like set up right here. I have my old patches right here. I got my American flag and this guy as well, and this is what we would have on our shoulders. But obviously you couldn't get those until or wear those rather until after graduation. There was always a few people in different divisions that try to pull a fast one and get those and try to slap them on so they can go to the civilian side of the necks, but they got caught. I try to just not do shit like that. Anyway, yeah, no, we're gonna wear the type ones. I think these are technically type 2s. The blueberries are type 2s. Anyway, I'm not gonna pick at it too much. So let's go with that. Probably the cry pants as well. Because I just think they look really cool. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Some combat boots. Alright, the vest. I'm gonna go with like a regular Molly vest. Debating if I want to make it like that. See, that looks kind of cool. A little generic though. I just throw a black vest on them. There we go. And accessories, at least with this game, is what I spent a lot of time screwing around with, but make it as painless as possible for you guys. Right. Patches. Now let's go to one of the brands. Assassin's Creed, since we've been playing a lot of Valhalla. Which, by the way, if you guys have not played Valhalla, you guys really should get it. Some people have been complaining about like bugs they've had on consoles. Personally, I haven't experienced like any bugs, any major bugs. I experienced one where like a loading screen, I just had to quit out of Stadia and reload it, and that was fine after that. But otherwise, I haven't had any of the issues that some people are talking about, and I guess maybe it's because since I'm older, I've seen a lot of launches and stuff. I kind of always expect there to be some bugs. It all depends. For me to complain about, it depends how bad it is in sense of just how bad it impacts the game. I was around for the Anthem launch. If that says anything to you guys, I actually stuck around Anthem for quite some time, and some people they really harp on the game, and I understand. I get it. The game had a really crappy launch, but it's still fun. But anyway, like I stuck with that game despite how bad it was. Same thing Fallout 76. Fallout 76 now is just so much different than when it launched, and I mean that in the obviously the best way possible. It was man, that was rough. That was a really rough launch, but I guess my friends said we just made do with like the fun that we had with it, and then as we saw the upcoming stuff for Wastelanders, and then got to play Wastelanders, it actually made me kind of change my tone in the game, because at first I was kind of I was really let down from how bad that was. That was not a good launch, but I will say they've fixed the game a lot now, where if you haven't played it or it's been a while, you should go back to it. That's another game I think Stadia would benefit if they launched, because we have ESO on there, and ESO works really, really great. I was glad that they put it on there because it's a fantastic MMO, but it takes up so much space on hard drives or SSDs, whatever you're using. But I like that I can just hop it into it now on literally any device. And I kind of want that Fallout 76. It's not so much as it's a beefy game, because it's really not that bad, but if you had Stadia on there, that would open it up to so many different people. I know Stadia, the running joke is there's only 10 of us that use it, but I know there's more users than that. Maybe not as much as a console as of yet. That's going to change though. I think that actually I don't think I know that's going to change because we have competition. You know, you have the competition between Stadia, xCloud, now Luna. I'm not sure exactly what PlayStation's doing. I know you can do like a cloud type of gaming thing, like on your PC with PlayStation Now, or whatever the hell it was called. I tried that a little bit, played Killzone. It wasn't great. I got my fix, and I never really thought about it after that. Nintendo just released their cloud service too, and that's actually I'm excited for Nintendo's a lot because I feel that's really gonna help them out. I mean, the Switch is already just cake. It's good system. So I kind of feel that I don't know, them going into cloud gaming and having, from what I'm hearing from people who've played it, pretty smooth with like latency. And that's the thing with Stadia right now is I'm getting no latency issues whatsoever. But okay, got my guy customized. I really don't feel like changing these guys around. I've been having them roll in pretty basic attire, kind of like a federal agent type of look. Does a trick for me. So okay. I've been trying to do this mission since yesterday, and like I don't know why I just keep screwing up the stealth part. Wait, no. Oh crap! I was thinking of a different one where you had to go into the mine and everything. I did finish that yesterday. Okay. This one, if it's the one I'm thinking about, you have to kind of sneak into this outpost.
Man, you'll never let me drive anymore. Just because that one time?
And you're just like helping the rebels, like, you know, steal some bank, give them some money for the cause, you know, usual shit that happens. So yeah, let's talk about how like actually smooth this game looks on here. It's getting, you know, good frame rate. I believe it's 60 FPS. I'm not running it on 4K only because I do not have a 4K monitor. When I get my Chromecast Ultra, I will be testing it on my TV, and I think I have like another TV I can use on as well. Just kind of test it between different devices to see how it is. So we're doing it on the 1080p settings right now, which is like, you know, right in the middle ground. And yeah, no, the game, it works great. I think it runs a little bit smoother than it does on PC. PC could be a little janky with like pop-ins at times, and I've noticed that on like setups where it's a hell of a lot better at mine. Cause I'm only running a 480 8 gigabyte RX 480 RX 480. Can't talk today. So I've been getting used to using more of the over-the-shoulder cam like that for firefights. It's good for when you're like clearing out buildings and stuff, where you're just dealing with a lot of guys. It kind of feels like SOCOM almost in that way. But the iron sights, I mean, they work out pretty well. So they're good for stealth and so you can lay those precise shots. So obviously what we're going to do is we're going to try to cut the alarms and try to clear as much of this camp as we can before we go in there. Normally what I would do with a lot of missions is I usually like parachute in and like maybe land on a rooftop or behind enemy lines, but since this one was just so close, I figure we can drive, and I actually don't have any helicopters that I can call in from the rebels right now. I think I got freedom, just kind of just level up my affiliation with them. But according to the minimap, right up there somewhere we should have some rebels.
Watch out, place is rigged with an alarm.
I'm not playing any crazy settings right now. I will do a ghost mode run with you guys. I've beaten that mode a few times, and I'm doing another playthrough that I'm not streaming right now, just so that way I can kind of test out a few tactics. That way I can not die right away when I play it, because I've had some games where like when I'm still taking down what I call the tutorial boss, Yuri and Polito. I've like just gotten whacked over some stupid decision I made. I think, you know, I've done the Yuri and Polito kind of quest line so many times. I kind of get really bored of it, but I still think it's a really good experience for new players. That's something that Wildlands, I think, did better than Breakpoint, was the introduction quest into the game to learn mechanics. Breakpoint,
banks in sight.
At first, it's not great, like when you get shot down and they're teaching about like the stealth and looting and stuff in the world. I thought that was pretty good. But then after that, once you get to Erewhon, it's a little messy what you should do. Because I've done missions out of Border. I actually killed Walker before I even killed Silverbacks. It was just it's a little wacky.
Yo, 2 cartel
I do
gunmen.
like that it has
There,
that old school
in the building.
openness though, that you could like just go straight for the main guy after you get enough info without killing all his underlings. But all right. Oh shit. Sorry, I had to
We got a
focus right there on
Sicario.
that.
Over there, next to the container.
Alright, I'm gonna turn these guys down just a little bit. I feel like they're a little loud. Oh, that'll do it. Alright, that sounds a little bit better. Now, I know this game is on Luna as well, but you have to get Uplay Plus, which I'll do eventually, but just right around Christmas time, I can't really justify it. Because you're paying about $6 now for the early access, which
Makes 5.
I think it technically does have more games than Stadia has as of right now, but a lot of the games on there are they're not the best, to be honest with you. There's a lot of indie games, a lot of like low budget games, which don't get me wrong, there are indie games that are fantastic, and that is not a shot at indie devs because they've made some really awesome games. But I just feel that that's kind of what's keeping people back from really going into it. Is it just doesn't have as many AAA games, but then that's where Uplay Plus comes in. Uplay Plus, you're getting access to a hell of a lot of good games. A lot to keep you busy. I mean, let alone, like, you're getting access to the 3 newest Assassin's Creed games, which, that's a ridiculous amount of playtime. So, yes, Uplay Plus is good, but you're paying about $21 a month, and I still feel with what you're spending, you're not being compensated as a customer enough. Now, again, it's early access, so I am cutting them slack.
There, by the container.
And I think that they do have a good opportunity to make something really good. I mean, heck, their controller is more or less a reskin of an Xbox controller, but that's kind of smart in my opinion because the Xbox controller is one of the best controllers. So they kind of went with what they knew people liked. I haven't got my hands on a Stadia controller yet, but I will be getting that right around the time Cyberpunk comes out. That's how I'm getting the Chromecast Ultra. I don't know if you saw, we shared it on the Twitter page that if you pre-order Cyberpunk, get the Premiere bundle for free. Which, okay, like, yes, pre-ordering on a cloud-based service is ridiculous. It sounds redundant because the second game launches, you can play.
Put this to use.
Oh, sweet, we got that. So, yeah, it seems a little dumb, right? But I think what's smart is that CD Projekt Red is kind of partnering with Stadia, and to promote their Stadia version, they're giving away a free Premiere bundle, which is about $100 value. So for $50, you're getting not 50, scratch that. For $60, you're getting $160 worth of stuff. It's not bad. I'm sure Google's coming out with like a new bundle with their Stadia controller. Maybe that's why they're trying to get rid of stock. Maybe since they've really like worked their asses off over the first year of the system, they really want to promote it and get more homes, especially as it's, I believe, recently opened in like Scandinavia, which right there adds more players. So I mean, they've expanded so much over the year. I know it's in Italy now. I'm not sure if it's in Spain, but I really noticed how far it's spread, per se. And I think that's pretty good. I just kind of lost my train of thought there. So, anyway, let's kind of focus on this, and I'll get more
some poor thug's heart to lose this. You'd think with all their money, the cartel would make a nicer metal.
So I think what has
Guys,
drawn me
on
into
Cartel
this game so
Where?
much is
Inside the
that
main
it really reminds me of SOCOM from back in the day. Now, I know that that's a series that died back on the PlayStation 3, and it's really sad to see it go, but this game has many throwbacks to it. Just like from the little bit of like the orders you can give to your teammates. They didn't have it doesn't have as many orders, but I can bring up here. So you have like your normal regroup, hold, open fire, hold fire, and go to. Your typical bread and butter of a squad-based game, which works for the most part. But I mean, SOCOM for PlayStation 2, you had all those orders. Plus, you had like an Overwatch order, so you can order like half your team to go somewhere so that way they can like watch over you guys as you progress through and take out threats. You can have them like breach different entries, set defensive points. Like it was really immersive for a tactical shooter. But then the game, it wasn't like Arma ultra realistic or Squad ultra realistic with like combat, but it was still really tactical and very unforgiving. Like if you're in a close combat scenario and the enemy gets to jump on you, you're most likely not making it out of that firefight. Because like it just takes a few rounds to put you down. But you can like run and gun a little bit more in that game once you got comfortable with it. So it's a little actiony. But anyway, it was one of the best third-person tactical games, and this game kind of nails it with that, and ups the ante a little bit. So one thing I've always wanted in the SOCOM games was to be open world, right? So imagine playing all those tactics into an open world game, and just thinking how cool that would be, and like it's something I always wanted since I was a kid. And when this came out, I mean, this is definitely a reboot of the Ghost Recon franchise. The last one before that was Future Soldier. Future Soldier was okay. I know a lot of people, have a lot of nostalgia to it because I feel that was a lot of people's first Ghost Recons who weren't around in, I guess what I call the first phase of it. The first phase of Ghost Recon, I would say, goes from like the original title all the way until right before Ghost Recon 2. And that's when it was kind of like how Rainbow Six was. You just had the reticle, unforgiving, just a Tom Clancy, tactical game. And then Ghost Recon 2, it still held on to it, but they kind of took in a more action-y aspect. Kind of like this. I would say Ghost Recon 2 and Summit Strike, the expansion for it, or standalone expansion, mimics a lot of the movement and stuff of this game. Which I think was good. And then Grawl kind of kept it and just added more of like the futurized stuff, like drones and all that fun shit. And then Future Soldier, it got a little too sci-fi for me with like the active camo, which was cool, don't get me wrong, but I guess I didn't get sucked in too much of the game, like the story or whatever. I think this game, Wildlands, feels closer to old school Ghost Recon with like nods to a sci-fi and the stuff, and like I guess I can't call it sci-fi because Grawl and Grawl 2 were based off the Future Soldier program, which was all about integrating like the internet and computers and robotics into the individual soldiers, so that way everything is part of one giant component on the battlefield. It was a really cool program, and it was used in the wars, and then tablets and phones came out and it made the whole thing obsolete. Our drones have gotten a lot better, and now it's like soldiers just need a tablet on them and they can essentially do an airstrike. That's what this game shows off. This game shows off a lot of the low profile tech that we have now. Like you'll see this guy get intel by just like pulling his phone out, doing some definitely action movie stuff, but it's still kind of like a nod to like, hey, like we can now do a lot of this really cool stuff without I guess without having to carry like a whole computer on us or whatever. So, and with this game you can kind of model off of that, like a low profile Spec Ops guy. Breakpoint, well, as much as I like that game, that started off very sci-fi, and the drones were a huge turnoff for me. Now, with us essentially being able to turn off drones except for bosses, to me that feels a little bit more realistic, because like if we had drones like that, we wouldn't have that many, and we would put them in important spots, right, for like defense or tests. So now I can get on board with that. But this game, going back to the SOCOM comparison, it feels like that with its controls, combat,
Two Sicarios.
the multiplayer.
Inside the bank building.
The multiplayer-ness, specifically in Wildlands, feels so much like SOCOM, and it's fantastic. And I'm glad that with this being on Stadia now, the multiplayer has a little bit more life in it. And it's great to go back in there and play it. I don't play it that much, but when I do, it kind of reminds me why I like it so much. But anywho, let's get back to this. I feel like I've been just rambling and not actually doing the mission. Alright. So, once we get inside here, we're going to have to defend it. It's a typical defend mission. But it's fun, you get a lot of good XP from it.
Damn, that sure got his attention.
Alright, we're going loud now. Or I might have to go loud. Oh, alright.
Grenade, get to cover. I'm engaging tangos.
Shit balls.
See, I wouldn't mind like another Rainbow Six game to play a little bit like this. Maybe not like obviously open battlefield, because Rainbow Six was more focused on counterterrorism, CQB, and all that fun stuff. But if they did a linear open world game, like maybe like we had a mission, but there's multiple ways you can like enter and take down, and like if kind of like a Jedi Fallen Order, we have multiple ways like maybe attack an objective. I'd be about that. I would actually like that a little more in Siege, and that's not knocking Siege. Siege is a really good game, but again, since I've been around since Rainbow Six.
Shit, take cover.
Alright, please some of you guys saw that real quick. That guy walked off there and fell right there, so he essentially didn't have to fight him. But anywho, yeah, I've been around since the first Rainbow Six game, and Siege is it's a far cry from it. Especially with it just being multiplayer only. That's a personal opinion. That doesn't make the game bad, as I said before. I kind of wish they did a little bit more single player, but they have put a lot of work into multiplayer. I mean, it's, in esports now.
Watch the fire from inside the bank.
It's been around for quite some time, so to say it's not good is false. It's got a pretty big fan base, but I can only play in small bursts. But again, that's not me. That's just me. Alright, did increasing civilians there. I jinxed myself.
Civilian, man. Watch your background.
Yo, man, you might want to get down. Yeah, that's what I like about this game. Like, Firefights can put you in like these like cool little shootouts like this, where I don't know, it kind of just has like that nice feel of a cross between like an action movie shootout and a tactical shootout. We're gonna have some cartel guys up here.
That came from inside the bank. Tango inside the bank.
Oh crap! I thought I killed him. What the heck? I think we both got each other there.
Hang in there, I'm coming your way.
Yeah, early on in this game, before you start leveling up your characters, you're pretty much like going down very quickly. So that's why you kind of see me like popping out.
They're coming right for us.
And this gun is not accurate with automatic and iron sights.
Contact parking area.
But we have ammo up here, so grab this, and no, we're gonna switch out guns because we picked up the AUG. Now, while we're here, I'll show you the skill tree. So, you go up right here. It's broken down between weapon, your drone, item, physical abilities, squad, rebel support. Rebel support, you need to do activities for the rebels, and that can be maybe freeing prisoners, attacking comm stations, I think capturing certain types of VIPs. It's not the ones with the exclamation point above their head, but it's got maybe like a gun logo or something. It's usually like green. And of course, just like the lieutenants that have valuable intel, they'll start to run the second a firefight breaks out. So I usually stealth in, just capture them, question them, and that's it. But you're going to do different types of those things. And there's also caches that are deployed throughout the world that when you find one, it opens up. I believe it's like spotting or diversion lore. And yeah, those are pretty cool. They're scattered throughout the map. It's kind of just like almost like a hidden treasure type of thing, but you'll recognize them with these orange like parachutes hanging off the side of something, so they're in that area. And that's pretty much how you get all of it. I think the most valuable things that the rebels do is the first three: vehicle drop off, guns for hire, and mortar. Diversion lore it's kind of good if you're trying to get out of like a situation like the Splinter Cell stealth mission. It's good because like you're not setting off the alarms. It's kind of like the loophole in the whole thing. It's been a while since I've tried, so it could come out in a failure. But if we do that mission, we'll give it a whirl. Mortar is like before we get to mortar, let's go over to spotting. Spotting is good, but I just use my drone if I really want to spot, or if I want to be extra tactical, just go into an area blind and just be very careful. But it's fun. Spotting can come in handy if you really don't feel like leveling up your drone and you just want to kind of find some stuff. Not my favorite ability, but it can be useful. Vehicle drop off, drop off everything from a car to a helicopter. Anywhere in the world, and that's something Breakpoint doesn't have. Breakpoint, you can get your vehicles at the was it Bayuvac, or however you pronounce it, like the campsites or from Air One. But not every one of those campsites has the helicopter, because I usually have the Blacklist helicopter set as my main vehicle, and it's kind of hit or miss if I get it. But here, the Rebels drop it off for you. You go grab it, you're good to go. It's fantastic. And just adds to your options in taking stuff down. Helicopter is always great because if you're like me, it's just great. Get it there, get a certain altitude, jump out. Awesome. Guns for hire if you just need a little bit of extra muscle because you're in a really big firefight, or you want to distract, as you see in the video right down there, the main entrance. Just send those guys in, they'll start a fight, but it well, I say that the cartel or Unidad is fighting rebels and not you, so you can still stealth around, and then you can set up cool ambushes. It's another fun little tactical thing, and I think that's why I like these, mainly these three, not this, is because this kind of adds into the like the tactical mindset, like in these games. Again, these are all me things, my personal thing. It's I'm not harping on anyone that likes to use it or the fact that it's in there. It's just how I play it. It's my, whatever. Mortar is great, especially once you get really good at timing it. You can ambush, what do they call it? The convoys and stuff for supplies. And it's just kind of like what you would expect almost in like guerrilla warfare. They're unsuspecting, you call in more strike, it drops off like, I don't know, like one more strike, which shoots like 3 more at a time. As you level it up, you get multiple, which is really devastating and awesome. And yeah, it's just you hit them, takes out a lot of stuff, and then it usually causes a lot of confusion, and then that's when I usually run and start gunning people down like Rambo. Yeah, so anyways, that's the Rebel support tree. Squad, this is pretty much just based around your squad's abilities, like how tough they are. Train Rebels is good, it just makes them deadlier fighters at first. It kind of feels like they're slapping them with bullets, but it's enough to distract them while you fight them, and they can take down some guys. But as you level these guys up, especially when they're all the way leveled up, they're pretty much like a mini Spec Ops team. They're really good fighters, and it just makes for some great situations. Resilience is just like your own resilience, just how much bullets you can take. Simple. Revive speed, that's very important for single player, obviously. Just that way, if you're down, you can get up faster. Extra sync shot, that's good, because then you can have, including you, take down 4 enemies at once. Breakpoint, I believe it's like 6 or 8, including the sync shot drones, which is pretty cool. That's actually something I would say Breakpoint added that was even better than Wildlands, so good on them. Breakpoint, the stuff they do better, in a nutshell, since I keep making references, is the character movement, I think, is better. Weapon sounds, weapon handling. It just has like an immersive feel to it, especially once you turn on the Ghost experience, get rid of gear score, and really play with the settings. Just a little bit more going on. Usually when in my squad tree, I just try to level up to get to last chance, and that gives you just 2 times they can bring you up before you die. Because whenever you're in the fight, if you get down once, they can bring you up. If you get down again, you're done. You have to reload. This one just gives you an extra chance, hence the name Last Chance. And that comes in handy when you're taking down harder areas, like level 5 areas can be a little bit of a bitch to sneak around or get in firefights. That's pretty much your team tree. Physical, this is, again, everything from like stuff that you're operating. I always go stamina and bullet resistance pretty early on. I need to level up this, and we'll probably hit hopefully some fuel tricks to get that. Quiet running is very good, especially for stealth players. It's good to have just because, like, I feel like if you don't have any like stealth leveled up, they like spot you from a mile away, which is ridiculous, but you'll notice it. And that's where detection comes in. You level this guy up, and between that and quiet running, you're pretty much like a ninja, and it's great. And faster regen is really good for firefights, as you can see. Just from the description there, you recover from injuries faster, get shot up a little bit, hide behind a wall, or I wouldn't hide behind corners, those things blow up when you don't want them to. Items, this kind of just expands your inventory a little bit. Thermal vision, must have. Parachute, must have. I think the parachute is actually the first thing I get. Probably after like the first mission or 2. About like a mission and a half it usually takes you to get enough supplies to get it. Because early on, your supplies, which is like all this stuff right here, it just there's not a lot of it, but you get it from just finding it out in the world, finishing missions, hitting those convoys. Convoys, like, you'll get a few thousand of these, like usually it's about like 2,500, and then you'll find like planes and helicopters all over the place that you can just pick up if you give them the drop-off points, and those are very simple missions. If you run to an area that's got a lot of air defense, fly close to the ground, and you're in. But yeah, that's your item tree. Obviously, C4 is good. Probably should get some soon. Your drone, if you like using your drone for spotting and stuff, this is a tree you go down. Self-explanatory. Thermal vision, it's good, and so it's like night vision too. Both of those things are pretty good. Battery life and range are the most effective. Mark area is good, so you're not trying to hit every little like individual point. It's more just like as long as your reticle's in a certain area, then you'll just start picking up on guys. And then if you like to use your drone for more offensive capabilities, you can use EMP or explosive. Again, I don't really use it that much, but it adds a little bit of depth into your playstyle. If you want to switch up, there you go. It gives you like a very Watch Dogs type of feel without the hacking. And of course, weapon. This just goes down to your handling and stuff. Ammo retention is a good one to have. Ammo capacity, level up that. That's a good one to get to once you're like halfway to the level cap, and that's because suppressors, as you've seen, can really damper the damage on weapons. Specifically, SMGs, I feel like get really weak when they have it, unless you're hitting from like here up. But yeah. Anyway, that's the skill trees. You can also customize weapons. Since we're going loud, I won't worry too much about throwing on the suppressor. I can put that on in game. As you see, I don't really have a whole lot of attachments. Let's go with something simple, just like that. Make sure full and semi. Oh yeah, we didn't even start the actual firefight. There you go, this gun's got a nice little kick to it.
How we doing?
Ooh. The parking area, watch out.
There you go. Either way in a firefight is to kind of set the choke point and just lay on hell on them. AUG is also a really good gun in this game. Yeah, to get more weapons in this game, you kind of just have to search the world, find weapon crates and stuff like that. You can spend real money on lock them early on. I don't recommend that because kind of looking around scavenging like that weapon, to me, adds fun.
What's the play, boss?
But there are DLC weapons you can buy. A lot of them require like cosmetic packages, which the value of that really all depends on you, what you find valuable and stuff. I've bought in a few cosmetic packs before, like a Predator one. It's just me. Or actually, if you are going to buy a weapons pack, the Fallen Ghost weapons are a really good price for what you get. I think it's like $10 and you get a lot of new weapons. So. Alright, yeah. See, that's like the action movie stuff that like I tell you about. I mean, just kind of peppered the helicopter eventually blew up, but again, it's fun. This game has a nice cross between feeling like a action movie and feeling like a tactical game. And I'm glad it gives you that option on the fly. I have no idea where this guy's at. Alright. Slow challenge progress. Oh yeah, there's like challenges in here that you can do as well.
Vault, and we get to hit the road.
And pretty much to give you prestige credits, and prestige credits also unlock you cosmetics and stuff like that. But thing with the I think it's kind of shitty with prestige credits is you only get one item in there versus if you spend money on Ghost War crates or I forget what the other ones. The other crates, then you're guaranteed not to get dupes, and you get 3 items. But prestige crates, you get dupes. which, you know, if for some reason you're one of those people, you know, locked everything, bought everything, whatever, prestige crates are going to feel like a pain in the ass deal. Sorry, my phone's going off. But yeah. Oh shit! I didn't realize that was the thing. Okay, so with unedited now, knowing where we are, they'll keep tracking you until you eventually leave. I think we're just gonna extract out here. There's a helicopter I shot down. No, I don't have to wait out. Yeah, I don't have to wait for my guys to get in the car because, you know, they'll just appear in. All right. We are out. You can have some really cool highway chases in this game too.
Oye, amigo. Mission completa. Sicarios are down and you boys are clear.
Muchas gracias. We could not have taken the vault without you.
Just don't spend it all in one place. Make sure you spread the word that Pulpo helped you get that cash.
To fuel the infighting, no? Bueno. You Americans are smarter than you look. Gracias, Yankees.
Here we go. Looks like the cartel's getting ready for a supply run.
So
Plane's fueled and ready to go.
Yeah, when you hear like the
when life gives you supply
characters and
lines,
stuff talking,
take those
it's
fuckers and get them to your
not really. I mean, it's not really
friends.
necessary to like you know, really follow the story. It's the story's what you think it is. You know, it's a typical revenge story. You know, CIA officer gets murdered in Mexico by the cartels. You're going down as top spec ops guy or unit, hunt down cartel. Find out CIA does some shicey shit, and that's about it.
They know we're here.
Anyway, so I was saying, this is one of the missions where we're gonna steal a plane, and we're gonna get a bunch of supplies, and everyone's gonna be happy. You also get to see how landing planes is in this game.
I got it. I'll fly.
All right, good to go.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's there's other times where like planes are in a little more heavily defended areas, and yeah, or where you're landing it is a little bit heavily defended, which is pretty fun. And usually you'll know what type of resource is inside each like vehicle. So it doesn't really show on here, but for example, if you look right here, you see we got a supply truck. It's full of comms tools, and that's what that little logo is right there, which is cool. You can kind of see, and as you get rebel intel in the area, you have to get rebel intel from each area to find out where skill points are, weapons attachments, and what they call like rebel ops missions or convoys. You have to get all of those, but once you do, you'll see where everything is in the province area, wherever you want to call it, and go at it. Other than that, how you can kind of tell if something is going to be like a supply cache is you'll see kind of like an airstrip like we did back there, or maybe like a helicopter pad, and there'll be a group of guys standing around it, and that's usually a dead giveaway. One of those guys is usually a pilot, and if he surrenders, you will get punished for killing him, because technically you're killing a non-armed combatant, and that's, you know, frowned upon. There's been a few instances where I have killed unarmed guys in this game, and like it was okay, but I think it's because it was in like a firefight and the guy like surrendered or some shit like that, and it was just kind of like, you know, heat of the moment, greased him, whatever. Oh yeah, that was not a good landing.
We're done here.
Rebels can send a team in later to pick up their supplies.
Alright, and that's how we get
Bowman, this is Nomad.
bunch of comm tools
Who's
right
down in
there.
Montauk? What have you got for us?
Montauk is Santa Blanca's primary training
And
ground.
whenever you go into a
They've
new
got a number
area,
of military
you actually
style
get
training camps in the province and bring in recruits from all over
briefed
South
by your
America.
CIA
And
person.
Muro is spending big
I like
money
that.
to
I think that's a nice little way to
special
kind of
forces background
figure
and
out what to
train
expect in
cartel
the
recruits.
area,
The
the
senior instructor
resistance,
is rumored
shit
to
like
be
that.
former U.S. military, but we don't know much more than that. I need you to gather intel on the cartel's training ops and get me an ID on the senior instructor.
Solid copy, Bowman. We'll get on it.
Alright, so do we want to start taking down I think this is Carl Bocart. You don't see him there, but I play as I know just about who's who in each area. This is actually one of my favorite areas to do like the storyline in, because this guy was like a former Army Ranger that served with your character. He goes rogue, and him and a few other former spec ops from around the world are training the cartel, which adds a little bit of, what the hell, man. And then in the area we also get Operation Oracle, which is the, I guess, prologue going into Breakpoint. You learn a little bit about Walker, Skeltac, what they're developing, and how Walker's kind of like on the fringe of going rogue and starting the Wolves with Sentinel Corps. So let's hang around here. We're gonna go there. We're just gonna fast travel because I'm feeling lazy. So yeah, as you guys can see, like the whole time I've been playing, we haven't had any like hiccups in latency, quality drop, FPS drop, and that's one of the things I wanted to mention with Stadia. Is I know when it first came out, the reviews were horrible. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It was a rough launch. There were latency issues, and I was expecting it. I know Google's a big company, just like Amazon is, and they have the hardware to do it. It's just this is so new. I knew it was going to be it's going to have issues, and so that's why unfortunately I didn't buy the Founders Pack. I was kind of waiting until I can get in on it, maybe on like the free and like maybe buy, edition and buy a game, or when I could just do Pro and just play it that way. And so it was like in March was when I got an offer as a YouTube Premium member. I got 3 months of Pro for free. So around this time in March, that's when I was training. Well, not training. I actually was signing up for the military and getting ready to go to boot camp shortly. And I just figured, what the hell, I'll give it a try, something to do. And in my mind, this thinking, with being active duty, Stadia could be something useful for where I'm stationed at, gaming-wise. Well, lo and behold, it was good. Like, I was very surprised in how smooth it was. I think Destiny, I noticed at first there's a little bit of latency, and then when I played it again, it's gone. And I've noticed that even now, no latency issues. So yeah, but I was really blown away by it. I really liked it. And then I think Red Dead was on sale, and so was the Division, so I picked both those up on there. I was able to play the Division with my character I already had, and Red Dead, wow, like it ran really well. And then I tested it on my tablet, because I had like an Xbox controller I could hook it up to, and yeah, I loved how I could have this experience on different devices, and it was available to me. So I've been a Pro member since then. And now with me not being in the military, being back home, I still use Stadia a lot. Actually, I bought the Avengers game when I got out of boot camp, and yeah, I know it flopped. I had fun with it, but I totally understand why it's flopped, because I haven't touched that game since I got to Endgame. I wanted it to be engaging, and once I got to the end game, it just wasn't there. Maybe I'll try
We got
the new
hostiles in the area. I got 2 Sicarios by
the
the
new
checkpoint.
end game thing that's coming out, but like I want the game to do well, but I'm being realistic that I think it's unlike Anthem. It's not going to be able to be saved. And the only reason why I think Anthem's going to be able to be saved is because the devs, they have been putting their work into it. Like, I know the whole horror story behind the development of Anthem, but I think I think they're gonna fix it. I mean, we've seen the concept art of what they're doing and like in-game shots, so that gives me some hope. But yeah, so now I use Stadia. I wouldn't say exclusively because like I have a gaming PC and I still use the hell out of that, but a lot of my games are just on Stadia because I like that
target.
option of being able to play anywhere on anything as long as you have an internet connection. And I kind of feel that that's how gaming is gonna go. Like even with PC gaming, I think like having
We're clear over here.
it's just gonna be a matter of time before the cloud is. That's just what it is. Same thing with music. I mean, I played Mellow Band.
Got a location on a cartel resupply point here.
Heavily into music.
Looks like it
but,
provides most of the weapons and
I mean,
ammunition for the province.
CDs are
We
cool,
went in and
but
destroyed those supplies.
it's now
Crippled
becoming
cartel
like a
ops
collector's
across the
thing.
whole
I still
province.
listen to CDs. I still have a stereo. I even have a record player. But I know that digital is how most people are consuming music, especially with things like Spotify. So it's only natural to see gaming going that way. Amazon. Okay, you know what? I guess now while we're playing this, casually roaming around, because we're just gonna kind of tackle everything a little casual. I guess I wanted this stream to be showcase a little bit of gameplay, but I also really just wanted to talk about my experience with this on in the background. So let's just tackle a bunch of like side objectives, get some intel and stuff. Let's see where that takes us. So we'll start talking about Amazon right now. So the biggest difference between Amazon and Amazon's Luna and Google Stadia is that with Stadia, the biggest thing is you do not need a pro membership. And I will say it again, you do not need a pro membership to play anything on Stadia. All you have to do is buy the games, and you're good to go. Now, pro does get you things that a normal subscription does not get you. And that would be
Heads up, hostiles in the area.
4K gaming, if your device supports 4K. I know that's not an option for everyone.
Sorry about this,
And
brother, but I
you
gotta
get
have the car.
you get a lot of discounts and stuff.
I'll drive.
You get free games every month that once you claim they're yours forever, as long as you
Ready. Call the shot.
have your pro membership active. If you decide to cancel it and you restart it, all your pro games are there. You just can't play them unless you bought them or have a pro membership. That seems pretty fair, but I like that if you don't have a membership, you can still use it. It's essentially a free service. That's fantastic. That's the way to do it. Amazon's, as of right now, with the free trial and stuff, it's $6 a month, and it's like Netflix. You have access to a library of a few games that are on there. Obviously, they're going to be adding more games as time goes on, and now we can question this guy.
Quédate quieto.
Yeah, so they'll have more things that goes
Are
on.
you guys
But
holding
it's like
up?
Netflix. Now, I believe from what I've read and heard is that once it's not in early access,
No idea
you'll
what I'm
be
capable
able
of.
to buy games like you can on Stadia and play it there. And I think once that happens,
this shit.
that's where the real competition is going to come in, because right now you can objectively view each service as different. Amazon's good where you don't really want to buy games, but you just kind of want access to some really good titles. Again, as of right now, it doesn't have a whole lot of titles, and you're going to have to shell out some extra cash to get Uplay Plus. Uplay Plus will be coming on Stadia as well, but it's not available yet. They said it will be available by the end of this year. And maybe I did have to look into it, see if Uplay Plus membership, if you have that, carries across multiple devices. If it does, I'll get it, and we'll compare Stadia and Luna together. I'll do a stream of Stadia, do a stream of Luna. Eventually, I do want to get a Luna controller, so that way we can do the full experience, just like how we'll be doing that with a Stadia controller once we get the Premier bundle in. But that won't be until at least, and I'm being generous here, next month. Personally, I believe it's going to be even longer than that, because we were not getting the code for the Premier Edition until
now.
Cyberpunk
Don't make this harder than it
launches,
has
and
to
then
be.
you have to put that code in, and they said it could take up to a few weeks for it to be out to you. So let's say maybe by the end of December
To the
we'll have
market,
it.
Jeeves.
but I might be able to get an Amazon Luna controller very soon. Because I know you can just buy them right now, and they're about the same price. But anywho, getting ahead of myself here. So yeah, once we get Uplay Plus and the carriers for both, we'll test out on either one. I mean, I do want to test out on both, regardless, or just at least be able to see some Ubisoft games on Luna to see how well optimized they are. Now, Stadia technically offers 4K gaming through streaming if your device has HDR and offers, you to be able to do that. But you can only get that through a Pro membership. So again, $9 a month. I still think it's a great deal. Again, I've been subscribed since March. I did take time off when I was in boot camp just because, I couldn't play it in there, so I just canceled for that. But once I got out of boot camp, it's been back up since. Now, there is no 4K gaming on Luna yet, but it is coming out. So again, there's a lot of things I'm not holding against Amazon because it is a new service. I kind of feel like they're getting into it because now they're starting to see that Google has really improved Stadia quite a bit. I mean, the first year of Stadia, I think they nailed it in just listening to feedback, updating everything, and yeah, they've rolled out some good features. Not everything that they showed us yet. I'm waiting for the YouTube integration. I think that's going to be a big thing, especially for content creators. And we'll be using that as well. Right now, my whole plan is we're using Twitch, and then we'll upload some of the previous live streams onto YouTube, and I'll be doing clips, and of course, YouTube I'll be making more informative videos instead of just me rambling like this. But
let's stack of tires.
That's the whole plan, at least.
I got a third.
Sorry, I was just kind of focusing here and taking these guys out. One more, since one guy in the building, one guy right around here. But yeah, I want to see how some of the other games run. I will say, so far, the best game I've used on Luna was Metro Exodus.
Good shooting. Let's clean up
and Control. Control was pretty good on there too. Again, those are both AAA experiences, so that is a plus. That those ones are doing well on there. I played a little bit of oh jeez, it was like a remaster game, like first person shooter. I can't remember what the heck it was.
Turn it off and we knock out the cartel's comms.
Oh, I'll come back there, but there is a lot of lag in that. And there was a lot of latency on some other game I was playing. Maybe even Steam Deck actually had some. I was kind of surprised I had some latency. But the colors, I noticed on the games that it did work well. The color contrast, it just something about it seemed off. Like in Control, the colors looked so faded. And there were audio issues. You'd get a little bit of crackling at first. Eventually, the audio would level out. But there was some games I had to stop playing just because it was just unplayable with the latency. But I'm not gonna bash on Luna because as much as you're hearing me say, I guess, negative things about it, technically they have the better software in Stadia, that's the interesting part. Is what I've been hearing is their servers. I'm not sure what the specs are off the top of my head. Again, when we do more informative videos on YouTube, I'll look in the specs and we'll just go down that. But their servers are better than Stadia's, and I've been told from multiple sources. A lot of my IT friends they said that Amazon does have the technology for it to be better. Now, me personally, I think what would make Luna better is once they fix the optimization. That's something I know they're going to fix because that's a quick way to end a service like that. Okay, so you can also get HTI, which is a good high-powered rifle. Oh, the TAR-21 and the MSR. All right, not bad. Let's. Wow. I'll go with the HTI. All right, we're gonna get the TAR. It's a good gun. Anyway, so it's. so they got like the manpower, and I know they're going to fix the latency because it's no brainer. You know, they at least want to give this a good go. They don't want to call it, you know, quits already. But I will say, it is possible for them to abandon it, and that's why that whole subscription, in order to even use it, you know, it's early access. It scares the shit out of me because if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, they've already got the money from the people, me included. But again, I'm doing this so that way I can do more of a review, give some feedback, maybe even hope to make it a good platform for people to use if that's someone you choose to use. Okay, even though my whole thing is to focus more on Stadia, that's my main thing, I'm not exclusively just talking about that. I mean, we gotta talk about cloud gaming altogether. If I'm able to get my hands on xCloud, maybe eventually when they rolled out for PC, we'll give that a try too, because I personally think cloud gaming is going to be what it takes over as our primary gaming functions, and that's why I'm getting in on it now to see who might be the leader in that. And as of right now, I'd say it's Google, but they've had a year into it. They were the first ones to really take the plunge and really commercialize it. I know GeForce Now has been a thing, and that is one I will say is freaking awful right now. It's just the whole setup, the quality of the stream is just, I have not had a good experience with it, and I kind of wrote them off for now until I really see some major improvements, just because it's anyway, that's GeForce Now. That's a whole other thing. I kind of feel like it's more a way for NVIDIA to show off some of their tech, whatever, but I don't see it really getting anywhere close to any of these competitors. I would even say in its current state, Luna is better than GeForce Now. Which is good for Luna. I mean, that's great. Sorry, I was just kind of thinking we should take down this convoy or not. I kind of just want to get to this weapon without dealing with some bullshit. So yeah, GeForce Now, you know, I had a really bad time. I know they have like a membership that gets you ahead of like the queues, and you can play for longer sessions. I didn't like the whole time getting of sessions like that. I think that's one thing that already turned me off. But I was willing to try it out, and I did, and it was just oof. Ooh, the audio quality, the video quality, it just like, I feel like I downgraded, like the game itself downgraded. And I think I was only playing Destiny on there too. Yeah, it sounded cool on paper. It's got some kinks to work out right now. I personally don't even think it's worth trying. I know it sounds a little harsh, but it was that bad of experience, and that's going to be the only service, should I say, that you're going to hear me really bash on. I hope it gets better for their sake, but they don't have a horse in the cloud gaming race. So with Amazon's, like, how you have to subscribe to it even for an early access, to me it comes off as very, like, I don't want to say money grubby, but it kind of is, especially when you take into play the whole Uplay Plus thing. It's just like $21 a month. Like that can be kind of that's like having like a show streaming service at this point. But you know what? Maybe it'll be justified depending on what they keep the price point at once they fully release it. You don't have to subscribe to it. Again, as of right now, it comes across as how they want to make money versus provide a service. But again, I don't want to put I don't put words in their mouth, because I could be wrong and all that. It could just be they're having hiccups right now, and maybe the funding that they're getting for that, Amazon is a rich company. Maybe that money's going to towards Luna. I don't know how they have it set up. I don't know if it's just like people they hired outside of Amazon to work on it. Again, I don't know too much about it, but I'm learning as we go along. And I think what's going to come down to, here's my prediction for the cloud gaming competitors, is I think Google is going to be in the lead for now, and Amazon's going to be tailing right behind it. I think Microsoft is going to be the third option, and if Nintendo decides to do cloud gaming, but For some reason, they decided to like port it to PC so that we can stream on PC. Like that would be, in mobile, yeah, that would be huge. I would say that would really, really bring in customers. Just think about it, you could play Nintendo games without a Nintendo device. Well, that's always the issue of them not having really many mobile games.
Marking a tango. He's
then they
close to
just
that
stream
local.
Check your targets. We got civilians all over the place.
So, yeah, I think those 4 would be the ones. PlayStation just seems it seems so stingy on just like, no, we have exclusives. Like, I get it, like exclusives back in the day with your console sell, but like we're kind of in the age now where people want to have more variety or accessibility into how they can game. And if they were smart, they would be working on something like xCloud, in which they very much could be, and they probably are. So before anyone says, I'm talking just like straight up shit, don't know what I'm talking about, you could be right. I could just be like unaware of what they're working on, and that is ignorance on my own. Again, I'm trying to keep up to date on as much of this info as possible, and a lot of this is opinions on my personal experience. And then, of course, like when it comes to hardware, yeah, I'll be saying fact based on the hardware, because you kind of can't lie about that. And I just want to be honest with, with everyone on here. I just want everyone to be kind of informed. I'm not trying to be like a shill for Stadia or anything like that. I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant to jump into the cloud gaming thing. So, that's what it is. But, I mean, just the fact that as I'm talking to you and I'm streaming this just like on my computer it's mind-blowing. I think it's great. I mean, my computer is running just quiet as anything.
Tango knows somebody's got a beat on him.
Check it out. Weapons case.
Yeah, I didn't even grab that.
I've been wanting one of these.
Get the hell out of there.
Alright, you can see that. Yeah, so sorry I've been like kind of just like rambling more about the review of the tech versus just the game itself. But it's something I just kind of wanted like to talk about. Of course, if you guys want me to talk more about the game, we will be doing this playthrough over time. So this isn't like the only time you ever see Ghost Recon. We'll be seeing this through, all that good stuff. We'll talk more about what I like about it, all that good stuff. But I just kind of wanted to say to let everyone know what the whole point of the Stadia review was. Obviously, by the name itself, I'm very much on the side of Stadia, but I'm still always going to be trying the other services. And at the end of the day, I think no one should be bashed for how they play games. I just want people to have access to them. And alright, so they saw me get wiped out there, but at least it's not permadeath, so we're just gonna spawn back in. But yeah, with cloud gaming, it's like the one thing I always talked about hearing with gaming was when someone was interested in it and they'd be at friend's house and play it, but like maybe they couldn't afford to get a system themselves or whatever it is. Like they had the internet and maybe they had like an okay computer like to work on for school, but they just couldn't justify shelling out hundreds of dollars for a console, hundreds of dollars for building a really kick-ass PC. And so they kind of I always felt like those people, should have the opportunity to be able to play games and stuff. Because for me, this is where the whole mental health tag comes in. I feel like games can be very alleviating of a lot of mental health issues like depression, anxiety, social anxiety. Actually, these are all things that I personally have suffered from. I was diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, depression, all that stuff. I was abused from ages 10 to 18. It's a part of me I don't really like to talk about. I'm more open about it now than I will. And the one thing that's helped me out was gaming. I played a lot of World of Warcraft especially in high school. I think that's when the abuse was the worst.
Civilians in the air.
And
Watch your targets.
just like, oh, we don't want to play unedited right now. And oh, my wife's asking me questions though. What type of mellow music uses 3/3 time? I have to think about that one. Probably my sugar. But anywho, yeah, and so like World of Warcraft really helped me in just dealing with all of that. You know, I dealt with bullying in school and stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people have dealt with that, and they've kind of found solace in games. And I feel like now with Stadia and Luna, people who might be struggling with those, and maybe they can't afford to get like all the mental health they need,
Sicario
or
sporting a
help
mimic gun.
that they need
Close to
with,
that stack of
through a
tires.
doctor or whatever. Just having a hobby like that could help them out. I mean, I also do it. I'm saying just gaming should be, you know, exercise is something that I've done a lot, writing and all that. But gaming, that's helped out a lot on multiple fronts. Like I've met so many great people. Well, one of my great friends I met through Xbox Live back in the day with my IRL best friend, who I'm still best friends with today, and you know, we've been friends for over 15 years now. Yeah, it's been it's been about 15 years. And like it's just, you know, it's great. It's like I didn't have that. I really met some of these people, and that in itself could really have changed me. But
We poked the hornet's nest.
yeah, so that's why I've been such a big fan of cloud gaming. One of my friends, he's, you know, a huge IT guy. He just can't justify, as of yet, you know, he likes the whole like tech behind PC building, and so do I. It's like working on like a car and stuff like that. And I think that's what it's going to turn to, like a niche thing like that, as cloud gaming just becomes the norm. And I don't think it's going to become like the norm for probably like 5-10 years. He thinks 20 years, but those are just our guesses.
I'm shooting these fuckers.
So yeah, I just, you know, I think it's gonna give people that that entry they need and into gaming, and I think then we'll see the quote console wars of Amazon or Google, which that would, I'll tell you what, that'll be interesting just to see what people have to say about that. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't harp on each other about, you know, what systems we use, because like I found, especially in some gaming subreddits, some people can just be assholes about it, and I kind of feel like that adds on to like the mental health stuff. Like there's nothing worse than if you're already ostracized by people in real life, right? And you tend to be like an introvert. You're into what people would perceive as dorkier things or whatever, and you're just looking for that connection. And it sucks when you've made that connection with games, and then you have a community of people who just bash on you because, you know, you like one system over the other or one platform over the other. I mean, it's just kind of asinine, really. It's like, why, you know, if you're an Xbox fan, why does it piss you off that someone really likes PlayStation? Like, and you know, maybe that's just something just like as I've grown up, because I used to get into the hype of the console wars, you know, between Xbox and PlayStation, but like, I don't know, there was something clicked with me that I was like, wow, this is really fucking stupid, and maybe we should just be like nicer to everyone. And
Marking a captain.
yeah, that's how I feel. I think my friends have started. Some of my friends have adopted it.
How you guys
My
holding
one
up?
buddy, again, my best friend, playfully bashes on me for being a Stadia guy, but when we really talk about it, he goes, look, I know it comes down to personal preference. He goes, it's an IT guy. He goes, it's hard for me to let go of just all the tech that goes involved. He goes, that's why I haven't jumped on it.
Pay dirt.
And I
Got a
totally see what
location
you
on
mean.
the cartel's primary training
Because
camp
it is
here in
really
Montreal.
cool once you
Let's hit it.
go, like, you do build a gaming PC if you're able to. There's something magical about it. But there's also something just magical and futuristic of go opening up Google Chrome and playing Wildlands. So, alright, so we got some new weapons. I think I'm going to save Operation Oracle for probably the next time we stream. You know, just because it's a cool mission, and I really want you guys to kind of just like soak that in if you haven't played it yet. And then you can kind of hear me talk about how it plays into Breakpoint and all that good stuff. But anyway, so we've been playing this for a little over an hour now. We did some of the side stuff, like get like weapons, kind of show you that. We haven't attacked a convoy, but you kind of saw what the gist of it is they're usually led by two like jeeps or whatever with like miniguns. They got about 5 guys in there, so including the people inside the supply truck, you're fighting about 12 guys, and if you're in a really contested area, they'll have helicopter support as well. So they can be fun, they can be kind of like annoying. So anyway, what we're going to do now, just to show you guys how smooth Stadia is between games and stuff, we'll exit out of this and just play a little bit of Pac-Man before we close up here. So just do that, exit, and don't worry about the survey, I've done plenty of those already. So now we're going to plug in my controller here. And, yep, there. You know, controller's linked. Yeah, so these are all the games I've been playing on here. That's my most played game so far, Valhalla. I wholeheartedly recommend it. Now, I'm not technically in Chrome right now. This is like a plugin or extension that I downloaded from Google Chrome, which I think is a really cool thing to do it. But essentially, it's still, playing off that. Pac-Man, it sounds really stupid, but this game was a lot of fun, especially as a battle royale game. It's just like you're competing people playing Pac-Man, and it's fun, it's lighthearted. You really get in the zone with it. Far Cry 5 is another game. That and New Dawn I will stream on here because they're both great. I'm hoping we can get some people to play co-op with for either one. You have games like Steam Dig, Crata. I haven't played too much of Crata, but it reminds me a lot of like Gary's Mod. And a lot of these games I got for free through being a pro member. Like Republic. Republic is really, really cool. I don't want to talk too much about it because I think it's something that you should go into not really knowing and play it. Watch Dogs Legion, people keep talking about bugs in this game, and I've encountered maybe like 1 or 2, and I can't even think of them off the top of my head of what they were, but nothing that kept me from progressing. So yeah, that's all those games in a nutshell. Let's play some Pac-Man here. So as you saw, we closed out Ghost Recon, and here we go. Yep, smooth as that. And then of course you get your notifications top left, just kind of lets you know like, hey, want to play with any friends, do that. Usual chat options, but it's still pretty cool. I think this is the game I've encountered. Well, sorry about that. I've encountered more bugs than anything. It's just a connection between the elimination game and shit. Alright, so we'll do elimination game, which that's the battle royale one. And while we're waiting, I can just show you some of the gameplay through challenge mode. So this game I probably won't be talking that much during because, it's Pac-Man. But yeah, as you see, it's classic Pac-Man. Nothing out of the ordinary. But once that Q thing starts flashing, that's when we can join the Battle Royale game. The elimination mode, I think you have like a certain number of lives as well. But, once you get kicked out, you're still, in the, I guess the queue for, oh shit. Haha! Yeah, you're still in the queue for the Battle Royale game, so it's pretty cool. The only difference between this and normal Pac-Man is, you have like a lot of like upgrades and stuff like that you can get. And stuff that you can use against other players as well, like block them in your maze. Again, it's a simple simple game, but it works. And of course, you can customize your Pac-Man a little bit. You know, there's nothing crazy. No microtransactions, though. I have not seen any way to spend actual money. All the shit that you get in the game, you get from playing. Which it's sad that it's something we have to reiterate now. But again, good on them for just giving us a game that's just good to go. You know, and the other good thing is the reason why I bought this game was because they had the demo on Stadia. That's the other thing I'm liking that Stadia does is game demos. I mean, I come from the era of sometimes you got a game demo from a cereal box. I don't know if any of you guys remember Chex Quest. My wife sure does, and is a very adamant fan of it. I agree with her. It's like one of the best Doom clones out there. But hey, it's great to have a demo. Like, I think the last system to actually give me like demos and stuff was an Xbox 360. Which, by the way, if you guys want to really feel old, if you were around for the Xbox 360, you would know that today is the 15-year anniversary that thing's been around. Isn't that crazy? 15 years. I still think the 90s were 10 years ago, but again, time goes by, doesn't it? Yeah, so like game demos, I feel like that's such a good thing to have in this day and age in like gaming, because it's like, I don't know, I always got really jazzed about, you know, being able to play this new game that's coming out, like a demo of it, and sometimes a game would be different upon release than it was in a demo, but at the very least you got an idea what it's like. Stupid mistake. Yeah, as you see with Pac-Man, it's like once I get in the zone, I kind of just stop talking. But yeah, he goes to invade other people's mazes. I just try to stay in mine. But yeah, so with like demos, I got to try a Pac-Man demo, because at first when I watched you know, the Stadia good stuff, I'm sure everyone who did kind of had the same feeling, but I was kind of like, really? This is what we're having an event on? I was like, Pac-Man? But, you know, when they said they had a demo, I figured, alright, you know, what the heck, like, I gotta give it a try, it's free. What, you know, the worst thing I could experience is maybe it's just a, you know, not a fun game, I wasted some time, the end. But, luckily enough, I found myself surprisingly enjoying it, and figured, you know, yeah, $20 I still think is a little much for this game, but I find myself really sticking in the time with it. So I guess it was worth the $20. Looking back on it now. Oh, shoot. Let's hope we can like get a win here. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. I've been stuck in quite a few hours already. I've won quite a few Battle Royale modes. So I think all in all this game was worth it. I keep finding myself coming back to it. It's a good, like, kind of like one of those games where you're looking for something to do, but you want to get like into like a really emotionally invested storyline or whatever. You just kind of want to play something quick and fast. And feel like you accomplished something. This is a game for that. But yeah, I think at some point we will do some gameplay of Luna, so I can show it to you guys. I'm not sure when. There's just quite a few things I want to show off on Stadia first. And like I said, that's mainly what I'm going to be showcasing. Not exclusively, but mainly. Shield. So the shield is pretty badass because it kind of pushes these guys away from you and you don't have to have the super munch ability, as I like to call it. Oh, shoot. Alright, we won. There we go. Yeah, you just... I think the key to winning in this game is just stay in your maze, focus on that, and just kind of keep an eye out for the other players. If they try to come in, let them come in. Let them kind of feel like they're gonna give you a hard time, because once that key thing pops in, or the lock, not the key, the lock. When you get the lock, they're locked in there, and then they'll panic. And more times than not, I've had a lot of people who want to hit the lock, and they were like kind of doing pretty well and starting to kick my butt, points wise. They panicked, and they would just get hit by a ghost, and it's good. And that's where the battle royale-ness comes in, because when I think of battle royale, it's not just surviving to the last end, but it's how you can make other players like their survival challenging. So, and that's about as far as Pac-Man goes. Again, customization, different maze themes, things for your face, head, body. Again, nothing that costs money. Those Pac-Man points you see there, that's what you get for playing. Let's look at into my stats. Let's show it to you guys. Okay, so in game, played about 4 hours. It's not bad. Played 52 games already. I'm not that good at killing other Pac-Men versus like how many times I've been killed, as you can clearly see. Say they're complete challenges, but we're now on a 20% win streak for Battle Royale. And as you can see, my top 10, the top 3 finishes are good. The wins by kills, wins by survival. Yeah, it's just how I play, I don't die for kills. I don't know. Pac-Man I don't think about being aggressive as much as I think about being defensive. But anyway, that's pretty much gonna wrap up the stream for today. If you enjoyed what you saw, leave some feedback. Again, this channel and my YouTube channel and stuff, which I'll put in links on my Twitch page. They're new, okay, and I know that I am probably going to be like right now, just losing my train of thought, but stammering a lot. I know I have a lot of work to do. So again, if you have any constructive feedback, please let me know. If you enjoyed it, just subscribe, tell some people about it. It really means a lot. I like just playing games for you guys, and hopefully maybe I've intrigued you guys to start checking out cloud gaming the more you come over here. And if you do, awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have a bad experience, please leave them some feedback so that way they can fix it. It's okay to leave negative feedback for things, as long as you're not being a jerk about it, like insulting or threatening people. If you just give them pros and cons and what you feel they should work on, it goes a long way. And that's all I'm asking for people is, if there's a video pulled out you don't really like, or you enjoy it but I could have done it better, or the stream I could have done better in your opinion, just let me know. But at the end of the day, it's I'm supposed to be doing this as a chill thing for you guys. So yeah, anyway, you guys liked it, come back, just go to our Twitter page, which will also be in my Twitch profile. Follow that. I usually put out quick little updates of when I'll be on, what we'll be playing, any quick news I find out. We're still working on like a blog right now that I'm not going to really put out there to the public until I get quite a few things written on there, just that way it's not just like this big empty mess. So that's going to take some time, but that's in the works. Our YouTube channel doesn't have any videos. I am going to put this stream up over there so that way people can watch it if they want. But other than that, it's it's just going to take some time, but I appreciate you guys coming to check out the beginning steps